Long ago, in a village where rivers whispered and forests held ancient secrets, a strange miracle happened. One day, a woman named Delengme yawned under the morning sun. An ant entered her mouth, and from that tiny creature, a child was born. They named him Tenglaam, later known as Tenglam. Tenglam was unlike any other. He could speak the language of ants, frogs, and bees, but he was lazy, whimsical, and to most villagers, he was a fool. Instead of working, he spent his days chatting with the womenfolk and wandering the village in half-baked dreams. One day, his intelligent wife, Chungkim grew tired of their bland curry. She told him, "Go trap a bird. It's time we eat something real." But Tenglam asked where to set the trap. His wife instructed him to hide the trap in an unseen location. So off he went. But Tenglam, ever confused, hid the trap inside a tree hollow. The next day, he and his wife went to check the trap. His wife asked, "Where did you set the trap?" He proudly pointed to Tree Hollow. Of course, no bird would find it there. Frustrated, his wife reset the trap. A bird, Roy Lumpur, was caught, flapping and screeching, but Tenglam was too scared to touch it. So his wife handled it herself. Tenglam tied the bird to his waist belt, but with every step, doubt crept in. Was the bird real or just a dream? He checked once, then again, and again. Eventually the bird slipped out and vanished. Tenglam sighed. "Just a dream," he muttered. But then his wife returned, holding the same bird. He realized it was real. His wife instructed him to roast, cut the bird into pieces, and cook it. He followed her instructions, but Tenglam complained to his wife that the bird was too small to be divided evenly. So his wife divided the bird into equal portions for the family members, and they all enjoyed the meal. When their son Tengpapu was born, Tenglam behaved like no father should. Afraid his wife might bite him like an animal, he avoided her and the baby for 3 whole days and was even afraid to eat at his home. After observing his behavior one day, his wife called him near her and explained everything to him. When the child was about 3 months old, one day, Chungkim told him to look after the child while she went to the paddy field, as Tenglam was exhausted from working every day in the field and asked to care for the child. After some time, the child started crying inconsolably. He mistook pus on the child's head might be the reason, and used a thorn to remove the pus. The baby went silent, and when his wife returned, she found the child cold and lifeless. Tenglam, ever detached from reason, asked, "How can he be dead if his ears are cool?" Grief filled the home, and the child was buried. Tenglam wandered into the forest, lost in regret. After some day, when Tenglam and his wife working in paddy field, it rained. Tenglam held his ear and said, "Honey, I am dead. My ear are cold." Time passed. Tenglam wandered to Zalad Lake, where he heard emitting a distressing sound. Who can remove the python from the net? The bees and ants replied that Tenglam could help remove it. Strangely, ants and bees appeared, guiding him. Take at least 5 days and free it slowly. Then ask for the special blessing light located in the python's den, where there is alternating light and darkness. Day by day, Tenglam cut the ropes. Asked the python how it felt. The python replied that it felt more relaxed in breathing after the lace was removed. As Tenglam continued to cut the remaining laces of the net and asked the python how it felt, the python replied that it felt pleased and its breathing had returned to normal. Following the python's promise, From its dark den emerged a glowing orb. With the help of the gifted light, Tenglam became a great priest of Tingkao Ragwang. Still, old habits lingered. Tenglam once cut a tree branch to make a butcher block while sitting on it. When a passerby warned him that he will fall from the tree, he replied, "I have hands, I won't fall." As soon as he cut the branch of the tree, he fell. Fortunately, he narrowly escaped death. Believing the man was a priest, Tenglam said, "You are a priest, so check my body." "What you said was right. I fell from the tree." The man joked, "If you fart 8 times, you'll die." Tenglam took it seriously. He held them in, struggled not to fart, counted. And when the 8th fart escaped, he believed he was dead and went to forest. When women passed by complaining about mosquito bites, he asked, "Do mosquitoes bite the living?" That day, villagers knew he'd truly lost it, and Tenglam was promptly escorted home by the villagers, who held his hands and led him away. Once, his wife asked him to pound paddy when the Faobang tree's shadow fell on the courtyard. Tenglam, misunderstanding, tried to place the mortar on top of the tree, but it fell and made a hole in the ground. Tenglam assumed that the hole was made by an elephant and waited for the elephant to come the whole day. When she returned, his wife asked him whether the paddy was pounded. He replied that he couldn't lift up the wooden mortar onto the tree, so the paddy was not pounded. Then she remained silent. Another day, his wife told him to come and eat the katoitam salad, but he refused. His wife ate all the salad, and after she left, he wanted to taste it. He found a little remnant of salad in the hole of the wooden mortar, so he tasted it, and it was tasty. His head went into the hole of the wooden mortar to lick the remnant of the salad, but he couldn't move out and struggled, rolling downward. Eventually his head got out of the hole, but he did not bring back the wooden mortar. His wife mentioned that the wooden mortar was missing. Tenglam instructed her to ask for a dream divination, and she did as told. Tenglam then informed her that the wooden mortar was located in the bushes below. She went to look, and indeed found it in the shrubs and bushes. From that moment on, his wife believed that Tenglam was a skilled dream diviner. Soon after, the king's golden hookah went missing. Priests failed to find it. The king, Tuktalo, asked, "Is there any other dream diviner on this earth?" One of the king's bodyguards mentioned that Tenglam was also skilled at interpreting dreams, so they summoned Tenglam. The king said, "My golden hookah is lost, so I call upon you to interpret a dream to find out who has stolen my property." Upon hearing this, Tenglam was unsure of what to say and felt restless. However, he agreed to the king's request. Tenglam was treated to a good meal and given something to drink, after which he was provided with a place to sleep in the palace. It was widely known that Tenglam would interpret a dream to uncover the thief who had taken the golden hookah. Upon hearing this news, Kangna and Lena, who were the thieves, decided to listen what Tenglam would say. So they hid near the veranda of the palace where Tenglam would sleep. As Tenglam was overeaten, he said, "Ashemu tu kangla jailu puki atonmu apu lagang bang tak." One of the thieves said, "Kangna Tenglam is mentioning your name," and the other also responded that Lena your name too. They assumed that the words Kangla Jai was their name, and Tenglam was saying that we are going to die in front of the king, sworn tomorrow morning, So they secretly approached Tenglam, and they openly admitted to Tenglam that the golden hookah had been placed near the pond among the weeds, and asked not to mention their names and to forgive them, which Tenglam granted. When morning came, Tenglam happily informed the king that, according to his dream, the golden hookah was seen lying near the pond among the weeds. Upon searching, the hookah was found in the stated location, recovered, and returned to the king. The king was overjoyed, and Tenglam was hailed as the greatest dream interpreter on earth. After a year, a drought occurred. Some people approached Tenglam to interpret a dream about when it would rain. Tenglam said to himself that, "Today I will be disgraced because there is no one who brings good news." Tenglam went to sleep and had a dream in which Lotta Fish mentioned that a fish was suffering from stomach pain. Then a frog said, "You, fish, cannot live in the stream, as there will be heavy rainfall on the 5th day counting from today." Tenglam was pleased to hear this in his dream. He informed his people that a flood would occur on the 5th day. Indeed, the flood occurred on the 5th day after heavy consecutive rain. His prediction came true, and people believed that Tenglam was like a god. Tingkao Ragwang declared that Tenglam would be taken as a priest of Tingkao Ragwang. On a sunny day, a pregnant woman was working in a jum field and felt thirsty due to the sun's extreme heat. She was dying of thirst and said, "Oh God, please spring water in this field. I will give you my child in return." Hearing the call of the woman, the evil spirits caused water to spring up in the field. She drank the water and returned home. After some time, she gave birth to a baby boy. As he grew up, he became very lovely. One day during a thunderstorm, she remembered the promise she had made to the evil spirits. She felt afraid and called Tenglam for help. Tenglam appeared, and she asked him to help protect her child from being taken by the evil spirits. Tenglam advised her not to give up her child because she was a widow, and it was also the order of Tenglam. They would demand a matured goat, to which she should respond, "I don't have it." Then they would demand a cow, pig, or dog. She should tell them, "I don't have such animals." Subsequently, they would request a cock, and she should also say, "I don't have it." Finally, they would say, "Return the water," and she should sprinkle it to be relieved. The widow went to the jum field, where a gust of wind blew upon her. Unexpectedly, she found herself surrounded by evil spirits who demanded, "Give us the child now." She explained that she couldn't do that, as it was Tenglam's order. The evil spirits threatened to kill her if she didn't hand over the baby. Meanwhile, Tenglam sat nearby, visibly angry, stroking his mustache. Tenglam told the widow, "If you don't want to give the child, instead give a cow or a pig or a goat or a rooster." She said that she had none of these animals or a rooster. Tenglam asked her, "Atule, what do you always have?" She replied, "I always have water." Finally, Tenglam said, "Sprinkle the water against the evil spirits." The widow sprinkled the water, and the evil spirits ran away. A ritual called Duigan Chakmai, which involves sprinkling water to keep evil spirits away, was performed by a man as taught by Tenglam. This ritual is still practiced by the devotees of TRC, who chant, "Hey, evil spirits, you will be blind and your legs will be broken if you are sprinkled with water, so go away to the western direction." It is believed that evil spirits cannot harm people if this ritual is performed. After 7 days of divine teaching, Tenglam stood with his wife and neighbors. And on the 8th day, storm clouds gathered, thunder shook the sky. He was lifted upward into the wind and rain, taken by Tingkao Ragwang to the heavenly realm. There he became Muhchara Khandi Mujungpu, the dream diviner of the gods. To this day, when fear creeps in, when dreams disturb sleep, when thunder echoes over the hills, people call upon the name of Tenglaam. He never died. Let's listen to some of the teaching of Tenglaam. Tingkao Ragwang is the supreme creator of gods, humans, animals, celestial and non-living beings. People should remember him in joy and sorrow, using the sacred sound Ho. In the beginning of the prayer, Ho is the breathing sound of Tingkao Ragwang, and shout Huai during festivals like Gan and Rih. Upon death, elders should chant Ho Awe, Kaholome. Air, water, fire, sky, and earth are sacred, but can act against natural order. Jenna, Naime, must observe to restore balance after natural events, rain, hailstorm, earthquakes. Ginger is a vital element in these rituals, symbolizing Tenglam's body. Ginger, wine, plantain, leaves, right side, flowers, water, grasses, a cock or an egg, and kamnong. These are used in various rituals for Tingkao Ragwang and lesser gods. Ginger is the toes or fingers of Tenglam. Shampri Shampra is the hairs of Tenglam. Iron Ho is the tooth of Tenglam. Kamnong is tongue of Tenglam. Before consuming any food, offer it to Tingkao Ragwang as a thanksgiving act. During the Pukfa Ngai festival, pre-harvest, people eat their fill to ensure abundance in the coming year. During thunderstorms or hailstorms, invoke Tenglam's name to prevent destruction. For sickness or bad dreams, perform Tingkao Ragwangjang Lame in the courtyard. If resources are limited, do Ragaizu Jangme with plantain leaves, or Duigan Chakme, sprinkling water from a leaf cup. Relume, worship the 7 brother deities to protect the community. Kairao and Pumkanme, offer prayers to ancestors and Tingkao Ragwang for long life, safety, and well-being. Rituals like Langkaume, calling for wealth, Napkaume, calling for Patibukaume, returning the soul to the body after trauma. These ensure family prosperity and spiritual restoration. Tenglam emphasized observing purification ceremonies like Charungchuk, Luchuk, Chakamun, Ragwang Pumlin, and more. These cleanse the household and community to prevent future misfortune.